Sarah Collins had always prided herself on her skepticism. Urban legends and ghost stories were merely the fabrications of overactive imaginations, she thought. But as she drove into the fog-drenched town of Hollow Creek, a chill ran down her spine. The sun had barely set, yet the streets were deserted. Shadows stretched long and eerie, seeming to move with a life of their own. Sarah parked her car near the town square, its once bustling center now eerily silent. She glanced at the clock on her dashboard, 6:45 p.m. Far too early for a town to be this quiet. Gathering her courage, Sarah stepped out of the car, her footsteps echoing on the cobblestone street. She could feel eyes watching her from the darkened windows of the old buildings, though no one was in sight. She clutched her notepad and recorder, determined to uncover the truth behind the whispers. Her first stop was the local inn, a grand yet dilapidated building that loomed over the square. The innkeeper, an elderly woman named Margaret, greeted her with a wary smile. "You must be the journalist," Margaret said, her voice tinged with unease. "I hope you find what you're looking for." "I intend to," Sarah replied, her tone resolute. "Can you tell me more about these whispers?" Margaret's eyes darkened. "It's best not to talk about them, dear. Some things are better left alone." Undeterred, Sarah pressed on. "Please, I need to know. People have gone missing, and I believe these whispers are connected." With a heavy sigh, Margaret relented. "The whispers have been a part of Hollow Creek for as long as anyone can remember. They say it started with a curse, placed by an old witch who was wronged by the townsfolk centuries ago. At night, you can hear them, calling out your name, luring you into the darkness. Those who follow never return." A shiver ran down Sarah's spine, but she maintained her composure. "Have you heard them yourself?" Margaret nodded slowly. "Only once, many years ago. My brother followed the whispers into the woods and was never seen again. Since then, I've stayed indoors after dark, like everyone else." Sarah thanked Margaret for her time and checked into her room. That night, she lay in bed, the weight of the town's secrets pressing down on her. As midnight approached, she heard it, a faint, almost imperceptible whisper just outside her window. "Sarah." Her blood ran cold. She tried to convince herself it was just her imagination, but the whisper came again, louder this time. "Sarah, come to me." She rose from the bed, heart pounding, and moved to the window. The fog outside was thick, swirling in the moonlight. She could see nothing, yet the whisper persisted, growing more insistent. "Sarah, follow me." Grabbing her recorder, she ventured outside, drawn by the ethereal voice. The air was frigid, and the fog wrapped around her like a shroud. She followed the sound, her footsteps muffled by the dense mist. The town's edge blurred into the forest, ancient trees looming like sentinels. The whispers led her deeper into the woods, their tone almost soothing now. Sarah's fear began to ebb, replaced by a strange sense of calm. She lost track of time, the forest's labyrinthine paths twisting and turning in ways that defied logic. Finally, she reached a clearing, the moonlight casting an otherworldly glow. In the center stood an old, crumbling well. The whispers emanated from within, echoing up the stone walls. "Sarah, come closer." She approached the well, peering into its inky depths. The whispering ceased, replaced by an oppressive silence. Suddenly, a hand shot out, grasping her wrist with an iron grip. Sarah screamed, struggling to break free, but the hand pulled her closer, the darkness swallowing her whole. The next morning, Margaret found Sarah's recorder at the edge of the forest. She played the last recording, her face paling as she heard the whispers. Sarah's voice, filled with terror, echoed through the small inn. "Help me. They are real. The whispers are real." Margaret knew what she had to do. She packed up her belongings and left Hollow Creek, vowing never to return. The town's secrets would remain buried, and the whispers would continue to haunt the shadows, waiting for their next victim.